Your report, when your executive director said you wanted to defund the police, do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
You're the second senator to bring up an op-ed or
this isn't an op-ed. This is your report, a Policymakers Playbook.
Hey, Patriots. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the real stories the mainstream media won't touch. Today, we've got an absolute clown show of a congressional hearing to talk about. You got to see this. We're talking about the so-called experts the Democrats are parading around to push their anti-police, soft-on-crime, woke agenda again. We're going to walk through what happened, react to the highlights, and I'll tell you exactly what I think as a proud American who believes in law and order. So, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it.
Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. Ms. Cook, I want to say thank you especially to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story. And I'm sorry for what you and your family have had to endure. And it's powerful to have you here today. Thank you very much. I want to talk about some of these policies that have gotten to where we are today. Mr. Jackson, if I could just start with you. You were deputy director in the Biden White House for gun violence and a special assistant to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're also affiliated with the Community Justice Action Fund. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm also a survivor of gun violence.
You were their executive director. When was that, the Community Justice Action Fund?
2021 to 2023.
And you're affiliated with them now?
Yes, as executive advisor.
Okay. The Community Justice Action Fund, do you disclose your donors?
Yes.
All of the donors are public?
Yes.
You're funded by the Tides Advocacy Group, among others?
They're a fiscal sponsor.
This is, right.
They handle our HR.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a George Soros-funded group?
No.
He's one of the donors?
No.
He's a donor to the Tides Advocacy Group.
Yeah, that's our fiscal sponsor. So they handle our HR, our back office, our operations.
Great. Okay. Great. So in other words, I mean,
we're one of 300 organizations.
Right, that they run. You are a subset of them.
We pay them to be a fiscal sponsor.
Well, you are a subset of that organization, which he helps to fund, right? Okay. All right. Just wanted to get a level set here. So I want to ask you about some of the policies that you've advocated, because they're exactly what we see implemented in these blue cities, like defunding the police.
No.
Oh, indeed.
We advocate for.
Wait, I haven't asked a question yet. We'll get to. I've got a lot of questions. Believe me, and I'll give you time. So let's talk about this report that you issued when you were executive director, a Policymakers Playbook. And I'll ask you to enter it into the record, Mr. Chairman.
Great.
Without objection.
Thank you. In this report, you advocate, and I quote now, defunding the police because the long-term goal is fundamentally to reimagine how the state serves its citizens in the project of public safety. You go on to say police departments traumatize residents through a destructive cycle of racist over-policing, and the answer is not to add any more money to police budgets. Talk to me about, why is it that denying policing to the most vulnerable communities is a solution? I know that's what the blue cities are doing, but why is that a good idea?
Well, look, I in no way stand with defunding law enforcement.
That's what your report says.
Sheriff Mike Sheridan, who taught me how to drive when I was 16 years old.
Wait. Your report, when your executive director said you wanted to defund the police, do you renounce this report? Mr. Jackson, do you renounce the report that you authored as executive director? Here it is.
You're the second senator to bring up an op-ed
This isn't an op-ed. This is your report, a Policymakers Playbook to reduce gun violence without policing communities.
Okay.
Community Justice Action Fund, copyright 2023, when you were executive director. Now you say you don't know anything about it. Now you say that you haven't heard of it, just like the Democrats who all of a sudden say, oh, we're all for the police. They've been advocating defunding them for years.
Okay, well, you can look at documents or you can look at results.
My question is, do you renounce this report now? You say you no longer agree with this.
And my answer is that I led the efforts to invest $42 billion in law enforcement.
You've advocated defunding the police as executive director of an organization that you still lead and are affiliated with.
Never see me advocate for that directly. What you see me advocate for is a comprehensive approach to reducing violence.
Right. The comprehensive approach is defunding the police, which is what this says
the entire time.
This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
You say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit individuals.
We are not going to discriminate
what is that?
We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit that
what
wants
is
to help us prevent violence in our community.
What is two-spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for two-spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or
you
the spirit
wrote the
of
report?
how that was written. But what I'm telling you is that what is
a two-spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your Policymakers Playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views. Well, you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for two-spirit individuals. What is a two-spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced individual because you talk about reducing
violence. Oh, no, sir.
Violence.
You're looking at somebody who's reading you your own words, and I'd like to hear an answer.
Programs.
Here's the answer. The answer is you don't have any solutions. You want to invest in gobbledygook and take away money from police officers who actually keep our communities safe, and when you're called on the record, you deny it. It's all there in black and white, and your record is there in black and white, and it's a disgrace.
We reduced homicides by 31%, and as someone who's been shot and nearly killed, I take offense that you would think that the last 13 years
you won't answer my
we're not focused on
that
reducing
you deny
violence.
your own words and that you are leading this committee astray. And frankly, sir, your policies are absurd. They're absurd.
I don't think we're getting any place, so let's...
All right, so here's the setup. The Democrats brought in Mr. Greg Jackson, former deputy director for gun violence in the Biden White House, and executive director of the Community Justice Action Fund. He's been running these left-wing advocacy groups, pushing for so-called comprehensive solutions to gun violence. But here's the kicker. His group is funded by the Tides Advocacy Group, which is one of those massive leftist money laundering operations. Yes, folks, funded in part by George Soros himself. You know, the same Soros who bankrolls these radical prosecutors that let criminals out of jail and make our cities less safe. The Republicans, thank God, actually did their job and started asking real questions about where this money goes and what these groups really stand for. Now, here's where it gets wild. Mr. Jackson, under oath, is grilled about a report that his own organization put out while he was the executive director. It's called the Policymakers Playbook. In black and white, this report says they want to defund the police. Not reform, not reimagine, defund. But when confronted, Jackson starts backpedaling like he's in the Tour de France. Oh, I never advocated for that. Oh, I led an effort to invest $42 billion in law enforcement. Give me a break. Folks, this is gaslighting 101. The facts are right there in the report, his report. But as soon as the heat is on, suddenly he never heard of it. This is what the left does. For years, they marched in the streets, chanting defund the police. Their allies and city councils slashed police budgets. Crime exploded in places like Chicago, San Francisco, New York. Now, when the public turns on them, suddenly they're pro-police. Sorry, we remember. America remembers. But it gets even more absurd. The report doesn't just call for defunding the police. No. Instead, they want to funnel our taxpayer dollars into safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. Now, I want to be clear, every American deserves safety. But let's be honest, what the heck is a two-spirit person? The Republican senator asks Jackson, right there in the hearing, what does two-spirit mean? And Jackson can't answer. He admits he doesn't even know what's in his own report. This is what happens when policy gets written by woke consultants and activists instead of people who actually know how to keep communities safe. We're not investing in more cops, better training, or proven crime reduction strategies. We're investing in gobbledygook. Woke buzzwords. Social experiments. The Republican senator calls it out, right to Jackson's face. You're denying your own words. You're leading this committee astray. And he's right. The left has spent years undermining police, making excuses for criminals, and now that crime is out of control, They want to rewrite history. Jackson tries to claim he's all about comprehensive approaches, but when pressed for details, all he has is talking points. When caught, he can't defend what his own organization put in writing. And for the record, Jackson claims to have reduced homicides by 31%. Where? How? In America, violent crime has soared in every blue city that tried these radical policies. The numbers don't lie, folks. Let's talk about what actually keeps Americans safe. It's not safe spaces for imaginary genders. It's not defunding the police. It's not more bureaucracy or virtue signaling from activist groups funded by billionaires who hate America. It's law enforcement. It's supporting our police. It's enforcing the law, putting criminals behind bars, and standing up for victims. That's what works. That's what built this country. And that's what the left now pretends they never abandoned. Let me be crystal clear. I support real community solutions. I support treating people with respect. But you can't have safety without law and order. And you can't have law and order if you're gutting police budgets and replacing them with committees and consultants who don't even know what they're advocating for. So what's the takeaway? The hearings like this expose the truth about the radical left's agenda. They'll say anything, deny anything, and gaslight anyone to avoid accountability for the disaster they've created in our cities. Don't let them rewrite history. Don't let them tell you up is down. Support your local police. Demand accountability from politicians who put ideology over safety. And always check the facts for yourself. If you agree, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. We need every patriot to speak up because if we let these folks run the country, there won't be any safe spaces left for anyone. God bless you. God bless our police. And God bless the United States of America. Thanks for watching, Patriots. Drop your comments below. What do you think about this hearing? Have you seen the effects of these policies in your city? Let me know. And stay tuned. We'll keep exposing the truth, one story at a time.